guys, and welcome to today's video. Today is day 3 of Naked Week. If you haven't seen any of my Naked Week videos yet, I will link up the playlist in the eye. Essentially, Naked Week is not where I get naked, but where we just go back to the Urban Decay Naked palettes. I have all of them in front of me. Day 3 only means one thing really, doesn't it? It means Naked 3. This was a really great palette. This is like the Rose Goldy palette. I have all of my palettes still in the original packaging that they were in. And the whole point of this kind of series, or like week I suppose you could say, is for me to go back and look at makeup that I purchased all that time ago and is still sitting in my drawer and I still love. I don't want to part ways with it. It's a collector's item to me, but to go back and re-enjoy those palettes and to get inspired once again by palettes that aren't necessarily not even nearly brand new, but you know, just the palettes that I'm sure we all still have in our drawers, or a great majority of us owned at one point, or we own similar dupes, things like that, and to kind of just re-inspire and to remember that makeup doesn't always have to be brand new to be exciting. We can go back to the palettes that are the oldest in our collection and still find them enjoyable, finds them fun, and that's exactly what this series is about. I've been saying this kind of in every single video. But yeah, today is day 3 of Naked Week, and we're going to be going into the Naked 3. Okay, so getting into the Naked 3 palette, like I said, I keep all of my original boxes because I'm a hoarder and I'm also just a makeup collector. I love collecting makeup, especially when it's like part of a series and a brand like Urban Decay, which I truly have always loved. So this is the Naked 3 palette. I feel like I haven't opened this palette in many a year. Okay, I was kind of forgot that there was these cool ridges that it used to have. I know that the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette had this tin format, and so did the Naked 3, so there we go. That's what it looks like in all its glory, this rose gold beautifulness. Let's get into it. Oh, I did actually use quite a lot of this. I mean, it's not dented, but there's quite a lot of dents in it in terms of the shadows I used. I didn't think I actually used this as much as I did. Interesting. Obviously this is the more pinky rose gold Naked palette, and a lot of people still love this and a lot of people still use this. I'd say nowadays we have rose gold palettes a bit more amped up with more hot pinks in. This is a very neutral rose gold palette and is still absolutely beautiful. So if you've been watching my Naked series so far, or Naked Week, you'll know that I've been kind of doing a lighter look and a darker look, kind of like a daytime nighttime look, but it's just so that I can try and use as many shades as I can in the palette without trying to throw them all into one look. I nearly got into this palette without swatching it first, so let's give you the swatches on my arm of this palette. I haven't dipped into this palette for a very long time. So this is the first shade, Strange. It's like this milky white with a hint of undertone of pink in it. We then have Dust, which is like a metallic very light rose gold, more pinky, very pale. And then we have Burnout, which is another rose gold, this time maybe a bit more of an apricot-y, peachy undertone. It's still a rose gold. They're very pale than what I remember them being, but that's them so far. We've then got the shade Limit, which is this cool undertone, mauvey purpley pinky colour. We then have Buzz, which is this pinky purple metallic, this one right here, and then we have Trick. Is it Trick? Yeah, Trick, which is like a gold with a rose gold undertone, more goldy. That needs like another layer, I feel. That's not as pigmented as the others. This whole palette is just a little bit meh. I don't remember it being so meh, but that's the gold with a rose undertone. We've then got the shade Nuna, which is this greyish kind of cool tones brown with a purple undertone. We then have the shade Liar, this metallic, which has got, it's like a brown metallic with a rose undertone. We then have Factory, which is a much deeper brown. This has kind of got golden glitters to it, less rose toned, more of a browny gold. I haven't left myself enough space. But then we have Mugshot here, which is this deep kind of gunmetal metallic browny gold. And then we have Dark Side. Wow, we're gonna be right on the elbow, my friends, I'm so sorry. Which is very similar actually. Dark Side is very similar to Mugshot, just less metallic. And then finally we have Blackheart. Oh my goodness, right on my elbow here. this is the most terrible swatches, I'm so sorry, which is a black with pink glitter running all through it, which you can't really see the glitter, but that is the swatches. I mean, these are the most worst swatches ever. When you swatch them all together, it looks really, really pretty and neutral and definitely like that rose goldy undertone. But these are not as pigmented. They are more crumbly than the other two palettes I've noticed so far. So you can definitely see a difference in formulation. I'm so sorry that my swatch is going like onto my elbow. I didn't think about the spacing here, did I? But that is the palette. And you can definitely see a darker portion and a lighter portion. So yeah, let's play around with this on my eyes. Okay, so zooming you in, I'm going to kind of set my concealer. I mean, it is a mattifying concealer, so it doesn't really need to be set, but just kind of give my lids a wash of colour. I'm going to go into the shade, whoa, Strange, this one right here, very, very gently, not a lot. I mean, I'm just going to take a little bit of it and just swish it messily through the crease and onto the brow bone, just to kind of create a bit of a layer for all these shadows to build up on. Like I said, just not a lot, just a little bit. Just kind of mesh my lid together to make sure there's no patchiness in the concealer. I'm then going to go into the shade Limit, this pale pinky sort of colour. It's a very pale pink, but it's like a rose gold pink. It's not like a baby pink. And I'm going to fluff this through the crease. I'm then going to take both shades Buzz and Trick, these two here, on both my fingers. So I'm going to take Buzz on my index finger and then Trick on my middle finger. And what I'm going to do is I'm kind of just going to put Buzz on the inner corner and Trick on the outer half, sorry. And I'm just going to do that with my fingers just because it's easy to blend them both together. Because I can alternate between fingers just like this. I'm then going to take the shade Mooner and Factory, so this one here and this one here, and I want to kind of just mix it on my little mini blending brush. I'm just mixing two together just because one's a matte, one's kind of a satin shade, and I'm just going to stamp this on the outer corner. Just kind of deepen the look up a little bit, but not too much, like that's not having much of an effect. They're not greatly pigmented, to be honest with you, so I'm just doing that a tiny bit to add a little bit of depth, like a bit of shadow to that outer corner. I'm also just going to drag a tiny bit on the lower lash line as well. I'm going to take Dust on a little pencil brush, whoops, this shade right here, this nice sparkly pink shade, and I'm going to put this on the inner corner. This is really crumbly, this shade. Probably actually it'd be better wetted. Let me go get a spray to wet it. That's much better as a wet shadow. It's still not like greatly pigmented, to be honest with you. Like this whole palette has been a little bit of a flop, but I mean it looks nice on the eyes. To be honest with you, it might just be like the age of the palette that's like not serving me well. But I think Urban Decay have just like improved on their formula over time, which is probably why I'm a little bit like, what's going on? But I mean, it's rose goldy. With the same pencil brush that's kind of got a little bit of dust still left on it, I'm going to go into the shade Strange, the pale pinkish white shade, and I'm just going to touch the top of my brow bone with this shade as well. With an itty bitty liner brush, I'm going to go into the shade Dark Side, this one here, and I'm going to just take that and kind of just smudge it on the outer corner, like the lash line bit, to see if that just gives it a little bit of depth and dimension to the eye. I think that's all I want to do for the day look. I mean, I know it's kind of plain-ish, but this is just like a very light look with the lighter shades. So I'm going to put some mascara and a lip on, and let's have a look at this kind of completed. Okay, and that is it. I have just applied some mascara and, where did I just put it? Oh, here we go. The Colourpop Lumiere Lippy Stick. It's actually more purple than I remember it being. I thought it was going to be a bit more pink, but this is what the look looks like. I feel like the lip is actually dominating the eye look, but this is a very simple, easy, daytime, very appropriate daytime look. using the lighter side and a tiny bit of the deepening, darkening shades to kind of deepen up that outer corner. I won't lie, I'm not impressed with it. Like if I had bought this in today, I would have been really disappointed with what I'd purchased. Obviously this is a collector's piece for me, so I don't regret owning it. I'm not going to declutter it. And actually the look itself, if I zoom you in, the look itself isn't actually awful. It's just a little bit subdued for my liking, but you know, the whole point of the Naked palettes was to be this subdued, naked flush of a colour, and obviously the colour is rose gold. I feel like it reflects the rose goldness quite a bit. The purple lip is probably putting it more purple than pinky, but I quite like a pop of purple anyway, so it doesn't bother me. So yeah, I like it. I like this palette and I like the daytime look I've created. I think now let's get into creating a bit more of a smokier, nighttime-ish, dark, smoky kind of look. I'm not convinced that it's going to look all too dissimilar to this, but darker. So yeah, let's take this all off and get into the nighttime darker look, because I'm intrigued to see how versatile and different this is, because I feel like I'm not going to get a much different look using these shades. But let's find out, let's find out. So this was the look, this is the daytime look for your viewing pleasure. And let's get this all off with my little reusable cotton pads and get into this. Okay, makeup is off, or should I say like the eye makeup, and the lip is off. The lighting has changed because I went away to speak to parents, have a Zoom meeting, and make myself a cup of fine British tea. So let's get into this, the darker end of the palette. Let's do, well, I'm going to try and do like a dark and smoky look. I mean, I kind of been doing that with all of the palettes so far, but I want to do something that's a little bit different, maybe like a halo eye or something, I don't know. I'm not very inspired by this palette, but I'm going to try and inspire myself by playing around with the shadows. The first shade I'm going to go into is this shade Nuna, this one right here. It's like a neutrally kind of taupey shade, and I'm just going to fluff this through the crease, to be honest, just to make sure that my concealer doesn't set and get all funny. I just like to always apply something to the crease, whether it gets lost at the very end or not, but I just find that it helps me more than anything like create a shadow to my eye and sort of mark out the eye socket. So with any conventional look, to be honest, I just like to contour my eyelid to sort of see where the look takes me. So I'm just going to fluff this Nuna shade throughout my crease. I'm also going to take it a little bit underneath the eyes as well. Okay, because I want this look to be dark and smoky as possible, I'm going to go into this shade right here, which is called Dark Side. It's like this satin, I wouldn't really call it metallic, it's more like a satiny sort of colour, and I'm going to take it on a flat shader brush and I'm just going to stamp this all over the lid. I might wet my brush a little bit just to help it sort of adhere better, but I'm just going to try and shove this all over my lid. I'm just going to go back in with a fluffy brush into Nuna, the one we put through our crease, and just kind of blend those two together, just so it's nice and like really diffused into the crease. With another little flat shade brush, I'm going to go into the shade Mugshot, this one right here. Wait, this one right here? Yeah, this one right here. And it's kind of like that taupey brown, but with a rose gold sort of shimmer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pack that on my brush, and it's a little bit dusty, so I'm just going to wet the brush with my Sun Spray. And I just want to tap this all across the lid. I don't want it to be too everywhere. I just want to tap it across and give the lid a nice sheen. Okay, and with like a little nubby brush I have here, I'm going to go into Blackheart, the one that's black with pink glitters. I don't really think the glitters are going to show up too well. So again, I'm going to take a little bit, and just to make sure it doesn't fall out across my face, I'm going to give it a quick spritz. I just want to pack this on the outer corner next to my lash line. Just here, kind of like just build it up a little bit on the outer corner. And just while I have that on my brush, I'm going to take that and a tiny bit of dark side and just smudge this really closely to my lower lash line as well. I'm going to take Nuna again on a little brush and smoke that out. Just kind of blend it all. I'm going to go back into my crease brush and just with a little bit of Nuna blend out that outer corner that I put in. And take a little bit of dark side as well, this one right here. And just smoke it out a little bit, just so it's not so blocky. And with my pencil brush, I'm going to go into the shade Trick, the golden shade here. And I'm going to actually use this as an inner corner, just because I feel like the look's quite dark as it is. So anything, including this gold, could be quite cute for an inner corner. I think just to lighten it up, I'm going to go into Strange, the like matte pinky white, and just kind of layer that on top and underneath sort of thing. And then I'm going to go back into Trick and just go back over that whitey pinky shade, just to brighten it up a little bit. I'm going to go into Strange again with the same brush and just do something very simple for the brow bone, just like a matte brow bone, which I quite like because it's just a smoky look anyway. It's not too glitz and glam, so I quite like that. Okay, I think that's kind of how I want it to look. I'm going to do some mascara and find an appropriate lip, and I'll be right back. Okay, there we go. There's my like smokier look with the palette. I applied, is this, I just applied? Yeah, Ink Blot by Colourpop. It's the Colourpop Lippy Stick in Ink Blot. If you can't tell, I'm kind of just like whipping out all of my lippy sticks just because I don't use them enough. But yeah, Ink Blot by Colourpop. Far, far more orangier than the Tubelets on, but I will forgive them. I really, really like this look. I think it is definitely smoky. I don't think that, or should I say, I think I could achieve this look with other palettes that I have, but I do feel like it's a smoky look that's got like a rose gold hint to it. I'll zoom you in. I just feel like with that crease, you can kind of see the rose goldiness come through. Maybe with my lip it's pulling a little bit more pinky, but I really, really like this look. I like this look more than I did the first, if I'm going to be honest with you. So I like it for the smoky tones in here. I just don't think I'm the person to go for these. I think these are really, really pretty colours, but I'm more drawn towards this end of the palette, like all of these, and maybe a hint, I don't know, saying that I really, really like this palette. I just don't think the pigment was there for these ones, so therefore it wasn't as like impactful as this. This to me is a really nice look. Like I would wear this happily just to go out and about for the day. I am quite confident in makeup in the sense that I would happily wear like a neon green smoky eye to Sainsbury's, so that's just me. But equally I feel like with a smoky eye, this is more like evening appropriate because it looks a bit more glammed up. I was going to apply lashes, but then I was just like, you know what, let's just do like 2 heavy coats of mascara and it might make a difference. And I feel like the heaviness of the mascara, you know, it kind of counterbalances for not having any lashes, but you don't need lashes all the time. Sometimes I really cannot be arsed, and today was one of those days. So I really, really like this look more than I did the first. It's definitely interesting playing with older palettes such as this. I have definitely enjoyed the other 2 more than this one so far. Like I said, I'm not decluttering it. It's part of my collection. It's a collector's item. It still brings me joy to look at. It didn't bring me joy to swatch because the swatches were just so like meh. And I find it really interesting in today's world, if you were to release something like this, it would receive really, really bad reviews. But back in the day, it was a really novel thing and everyone was really excited for it. And yeah, I don't know, I mean, like I said, I'm not going to declutter it at any time soon. It still works. I probably won't reach for it, but I enjoy owning it, and it's brought me back a little bit of joy playing around with it today, creating a couple of looks. So yeah, if you've got this palette, tell me down below. Tell me down in the comments below if you owned the Naked 3. Was it your favourite, or did you not like it as much? I know a lot of people raved about this palette. I feel like they were very much, I keep releasing the brush, which is really annoying. I feel like they were very much in the ball court of loving the Naked 3 or loving the Naked 2. I feel like there was a constant thing with people saying like which palette they loved more. So yeah, tell me down below, was this one of your favourite palettes? Did you ever play with it? Did you never play with it at all? Talk to me down below about this palette. I'd like to have a discussion about it and just kind of throw the years back to the Naked 3, which I think was a pretty iconic palette for its time. And it still is really, really gorgeous. Like, even the package today, I really, really do like it. The packaging is still really, really pretty, even to this day. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I hope you've enjoyed day 3 of Naked Week. I'm gonna pop it back in its little box now to keep nice and safe for another 10 years. I forgot to say in the beginning of this video, this palette was released 6 years ago. 6 years ago. That's a very long time. So it's an oldie but a goodie, I think, still in my eyes, and it's still a treasured piece in my collection. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying Naked Week so far. Am I bombarding you yet with all the palettes? Maybe, but you know, I love it. I love it. It's a little bit of me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really do appreciate you. I hope you're enjoying Naked Week so far. Naked Week day 4 tomorrow, people. If you know, you know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already and ring the bell because then you'll be notified of all the videos I upload. I upload every single week, and this week I'm uploading every single day. It's stressful, but it's happening. Thank you guys. Thumbs this video up if you have enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.